New anime MMORPG you need to see. All right, this is a game that just got announced. I saw it, and so I figured I'd take a look, and we could see how this is going.
Dragon Nest is touted as being one of the greatest PvPvE MMORPGs in the entire genre.
Okay.
The remnants of the community, including players that quit many years ago, continue to claim that no MMO does PvP better. And while I never got to play Dragon Nest during its peak, providing me absolutely no insight into the validity of this claim, I can attest to the game being a fun title with some great quality action combat. Comparable to Black Desert or Vindictus? Hardly. But a quality system nonetheless. So when Park Jung-sik,
This looks nice. Let me go ahead. I'm going to show you guys the scene here. Yeah, this looks actually pretty nice. I don't know, like, what is this, like Chuck E. Cheese up here? It's like this is a Chuck E. Cheese candy palace? What the fuck?
the CEO of Hound 13, who was also responsible for Dragon Nest, revealed his studio's latest game, titled Dragon Sword,
oh, it's cool. You can go underwater.
With a full trailer. Players kinda lost it. This is the spiritual successor to Dragon Nest, an MMO that has been in a stagnant state for more than a decade. Which
not very reassuring. I'm going to be honest. Not very reassuring. It's like, yeah, this game's been dead forever and they're making another one. You know, we'll see what happens.
Some of the best looking action combat in an anime game and multiplayer comparable to an MMO. Yeah, okay. Don't take my word for it here. Instead, here's a clip from my stream just yesterday where we all watched it together. Before we go ahead and take a look at the trailer, though, I do want to take a moment here to thank each and every single one of our patrons over on Patreon.
It's about the systems.
You guys are all incredible, and I will strive not to disappoint you all.
I think really, like, one thing that separates a lot of these other games from Genshin is that Genshin fundamentally doesn't have a lot of hard game, like, leaderboard content. So even if the game is just like Genshin and it has that type of gameplay, people will like it because that's something new for them. Yeah, Genshin's not an MMO.
In 2023. Also, not only do we stream over on Twitch every weekend, but we also have a Discord. The link to that is in the pinned comment below. You're welcome to come on over, join, and become a part of this community. How many of you played Dragon Nest? How many of you enjoyed Dragon Nest? Because there is a new game coming out called Dragon Sword that is developed by the same studio that developed Dragon Nest, and we're gonna take a look at the trailer for it.
Okay, let's see it. What kind of a fucking trailer has the opening shot of a graveyard? That's kind of depressing, man. Like, what the fuck? A dead game? Yeah, there you go. This looks great. I think we're getting to the point where, like, the barrier to entry for making a game like this is a lot lower, and you're going to see a lot more high-quality graphics, better fidelity graphics for these types of games. And what's really going to separate them is, like, how the design of the game actually works and the combat. And, like, the systems of, like, what makes the game good or bad or fun or boring or annoying or anything like that. Okay? So basically you have a sugar glider.
Can I just point out real quick, this game already has me sold on the fact that you can directly interact with your environments, you can scale, you can glide.
Yeah, that was cool.
But you can also dive completely and explore underwater.
Yeah, a lot of these games really go heavy on the exploration and, like, the world-building part, and I think that's a good thing. He's a furry? I don't know.
And it has a functional mount system, and it's open world.
I hope you're able to zoom out more. I hate playing this close up to the character, but I'm assuming you will be able to.
And it looks beautiful.
That looks badass. But there's no, like, nameplates or anything. Maybe they're probably just turned off.
And it looks like there are a bunch of different people playing here together, cooperatively.
This looks good. Okay.
The combat in this looks absolutely incredible.
I think it could be. I'm not really sure. I think the combat, like the open world combat, looks decent enough. It's kind of like how in Lost Ark, where you're pretty much juggling the mobs, and like you just keep them stunned just through attacking them over and over. I do think it's fun to do that, but I think what really matters is like how a class plays in PvP and how a class plays in like a boss fight type situation, because that's usually how people judge combat.
For an anime game?
I think
Jesus.
I'm gonna fucking, maybe this is a bad take, but I feel like anime games in general have better combat because they're not constrained as much by realistic proportions or realistic expectations. I feel like most of these anime games have quite better combat on average than the super realistic ones. Okay. Okay. Very cool. So it's like a black hole. This looks badass.
You can't not be hyped after you see this.
Well, I mean, okay, that was not hyped up because of fucking cinematic. This is fucking cool. It's just out in the open world, you and the boys riding around on your hamsters slash squirrels slash sugar gliders slash rabbit, and it's like you just see a big fucking dragon out in the open world. There it is.
Look at all those people playing together.
That's 4 people. I mean, come on. Oh, you have mounted combat.
Is this gonna be like...
That's cool.
What Tower of Fantasy should have been if it were actually good.
Imagine that.
The fact...
I'm going to be honest. I think this does... I mean, I feel like he is way more excited for it than I am. But I think this looks pretty promising and relatively good. Seems like combat's interesting. The mechanics are like, okay, this is fine. Yeah, this looks fine.
It's made by the people that made Dragon Nest, though, means that it is going to have absolutely fantastic combat. Potentially PvP, too.
Okay, so... I wish they showed more long-form amounts of combat.
Like, if Blue Protocol isn't careful, this is gonna give it a run for its money.
Yeah, I don't know if they can cut off his tail or what.
I wonder, is this just a dungeon or is that a raid?
Huh. I think it's probably just a dungeon.
Like, created characters, or is this more like a gacha game?
I think it's probably going to have gacha in it because every single one of these games has gacha in it. Also, like, I don't know. I felt like that looked pretty cool. How you can actually stand on top of the boss and hit him. I hope that you're able to, like, cut his tail off or something cool like that. And there's also a rabbit. Incredible. It was all just a dream. And you go back to playing Genshin Impact.
Dude, chat. That is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, this was good.
The combat in this game is incredible. I haven't seen an anime game with combat that looks this good yet.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest, like, I think it's as good as Tower of Fantasy. I think it's as good as what I've seen of Genshin Impact. I feel like it's about the same. That, honestly, like, it's about the same.
I genuinely haven't.
The boss fights seem way better, though.
Scale?
He's right about that.
The monsters? The special effects look absolutely incredible. The character models are stunning. My God.
I'm not a fan of how he just keeps getting stunned by the attack more and more. I hate that shit where you're stun locked by, like, that stuff. Paid actor? No, I think he's just excited about the game. That's all. Yeah, I mean, it's not like every single person that expresses interest in a video game is, like, paid for it. Sometimes people see a game and they're like, oh, looks cool. I hope it's good.
Man, a Genshin clone? Shut up.
Do I have to use a
not
Fem
Genshin
character?
clone.
Probably.
Man, I know that's going to be the comment section, though, right?
Every single game that looks like this is a Genshin clone. That's all there is to it. Like, same as any game that has a big tree in it, that's the Elden Ring tree. You can't fight it. That's just how things are.
Right? Genshin clone. The fact that it actually says it's Dragon Nest, though. So, there we have it. That is the sequel, I guess, the spiritual successor to Dragon Nest. Now, admittedly, little is known about the game currently. Is it an MMO? We sure saw a whole lot of players.
It seems very obviously it's probably going to be a online RPG that you can choose to play with groups of friends. The only thing that I'm curious about is that for like in-game progression, like getting the best gear in the game, do you do that solo or do you do that with a group of people? That's what I'm kind of curious about. And it's like if it's open world. So like let's say you go to a city or like you go over to like this beach right here. Could there be 2 or 3 other people fishing at that beach? I hope so.
Running around the large world together, engaging enemies, running dungeons, and what seem to be raids? If not, is it going to offer a multiplayer experience that more closely resembles Dragon Nest, Soul Worker, PSO2, Vindictus? That unfortunately is also unconfirmed. The game is labeled as an online action role-playing game, sharing the same term as Lost Ark and Blue Protocol.
Right.
But at the same time, also as Genshin Impact. We know the game is going to launch cross-platform, much like Genshin, like Tower of Fantasy, like Wuthering Waves, on PC, Android, and iOS devices. Will this inhibit the game? Possibly, but given the quality of games of this specific type, it's unlikely. This game looks gorgeous and definitely looks like it has exceptional quality combat, which is to be expected given the studio behind it. Unfortunately, there is no confirmed release date for Dragon Sword as of January 2023.
I would say that this combat and the gameplay is compelling for me enough to want to try it out. I'm not like super sold on this game in the same way that I was. I remember whenever I saw like the Arcade 2 cinematics and like all the stuff that came out of that, I was like, wow, this is really cool. I think I'm not expecting this to change the world, but it looks okay.
They also haven't confirmed whether the game is going to have a simultaneous global launch or not. Will it be releasing globally? It should.
Yeah, sure.
More details about its beta and full release will be made available
when do you
as
mean,
the
like,
year
on
goes
stream?
on. My hope is that it is a true full MMO, but at the same time, it probably won't end up being. I can only hope, though. Now, if you're interested in other new MMOs that are coming, though, I got you covered with 2 different videos on screen right now. One featuring a list of every MMO releasing this month, and one featuring a list of what I think the best MMOs were at the time 2022 ended, sorted by individual categories.
I just hope it's gonna be good, man. I'm gonna be honest. I really do. Like, I'm kind of worried that it's no off stream whenever you're done. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. What's this here? Bigger? Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, I just hope that these games actually have a good end game, because I think that's what every single one of these games lacks, is it has a good open world experience. It has a good, like outdoor, like collection, like achieving different little cool things experience. All of that stuff is really cool, and all of these games pretty much do it right. But the one thing that they don't do right is the end game is either pay to win, it's some gotcha bullshit, it's like honing in Lost Ark. There's like something wrong with the end game one way or another. So if they can get that right, then I would 100% play this game a lot. Obviously, I'll try this game out whenever it comes out, but I'm not really expecting it to be a game changer. If you had to pick top 5 MMOs right now, what would they be? I have no idea. Yeah, I have no clue whatsoever. Still waiting for a game that has Dragon's Nest combat system. Well, I think that we'll just have to wait to see whenever they release more information about the game. I watched the Souls Logic video. Let me just do this. What was this the same person asking? Oh, that's annoying. You asked too many times, you're banned. Yeah, usually if people spam the same question over and over, I don't like that. It's annoying. But anyway, I think this looks really cool. It looks great. It's just about the end game. It's about the systems. The end game and the systems define whether these games are good or not. Let me link the video to you guys because I haven't seen that.